Check, check, 1, 2. Welcome in. It's your Clippers pregame show, Clippers countdown, starting in about 6 minutes. And then from there, 60 minutes till the game starts. We got your hour pregame show. I'm Adam Osland, Clippers in Phoenix taking on the Suns. On the show, we'll have Clippers courtside reporter Lauren Rosen on in our media roundtable segment. And then Carlo Jimenez, of course, will be on the call. Looking forward to this ball game. I think it's a good test for the Clippers. Suns have won 7 of their last 9. They've gotten the best of the Clippers in 2 games so far this season. Of course, they haven't played the Clippers when Kawhi Leonard is available. So, could be a little bit different tonight. I'm hoping. Clippers went 3-2 in their 5-game in 7 days stretch. Oh, hi, Mark. What's up, Jeremy? How are we doing, Clipper Nation? It's good to be back on with you guys. This is day 115. We've done 115 straight days of Clippers talk content here for you. We've made it. And God willing, we'll make it to 116 tomorrow. We don't stop. We can't stop. Don't you ask me who about that life? Mikey. Mikey? Mock P? Yo-yo? 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 Jeremy Gonzalez says, let's give the buns. Yeah, good to see you guys in here. Show starts in 4 minutes as I hit the caffeine. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. Were you able to find that rewind?
Yeah, Elton Brand.
Nice.
40, yep.
Talking to Daniel West, of course, back in the Burbank studios.
Oh.
Maybe he'll join you guys in the chat here. Daniel, do you know we've done 115 days straight of Clippers talk content?
Sounds like a full baseball season.
Yeah, what's up, Vasse? Can you beat this? I've been good, Mark. My cats, so I have like a 5-month-old and a 2-month-old, and they're starting to get along and play nice. But they did knock over my Kawhi Leonard bobblehead earlier today. You can see that at Clippers Talk. Follow Adam A on Instagram or on the YouTube side. I put it in a short. But I was watching them interact, and they were in too close a proximity, and they started to raise hands. And Kawhi got caught in the crossfire, and the bobblehead fell over, and his right arm that had the basketball broke off. I hope that's not like some bad omen or something. That means he's going to have a bunch of turnovers tonight or something. It was not his right knee. His right knee did not suffer any damage in the fall, but I know. Let's just hope Kawhi can stay healthy. So I'm warming up a little bit earlier. How would I think Lonzo fits on the team? He'd fit well if he can stay healthy. Like, my only concern with Lonzo Ball is his health, and Clippers have enough health issues. I like Lonzo as a player a lot. Mark said my daughter broke the bobblehead as soon as we got home. Yeah, first my Black Panther one, which was my favorite of the Kawhi bobbleheads, got broken. Now this was, I don't know, just a more generic, him in a Clippers uniform bobblehead. I don't think there's anything to read into there.
About 30 looks like.
All right, guys, we're on 30. Welcome into Clippers Countdown. As your 26-19 LA Clippers are in Game 6 in 9 nights. Not so nice as they head out on the road for the next 4 and start tonight in Phoenix against the 23-21 Phoenix Suns, an old Pac-Div rival that goes deeper than just the regular season dust-ups, as they are the only team they've lost to 3 times in the playoffs. And tonight they're trying to avoid losing to them 3 times already this season, as the Suns opened up into a dome with a victory against the Clippers. So the squad definitely owes them a little payback in their house this time. And to do so, they're going to need another big game from Big Game James Harden.
Harden sidestep, fires a three. You bet! The beard from downtown. James drives, gets by Trent. The floater for the tie is pure. The beard with 5 in a row. The beard with 5 to shoot. Shakes Gary to the rim. Float school in session with a left-handed layup. Harden's got the last 9. Harden to the rim. The floater off the window. Harden's got the last 12. Shaking Trent. Steps back. Fires a three. String music. The beard is an archer and into it. Harden on the left wing. Crosses right hand. Steps into a straightaway three. Jackpot. James Harden with 35.
James Harden had his most impressive regular season performance as a member of the Los Angeles Clippers in a big spot with 40. Norm had 33. Kawhi had 18 in just 24 minutes as the Clippers played a strong 48 to beat one of the best teams in the East in the Milwaukee Bucks on Saturday night by a score of 127-117. But after going 3-2 at Intuit Dome the last week, can they take the show out on the road now and get a victory tonight in Phoenix? Tip-off from Footprint Center between the Clippers and Suns is just about 57 minutes away. Coming up here in your pregame show, we'll have Clippers courtside reporter Lauren Rosen on, plus, of course, Carlo Jimenez and assistant coach B. Shaw. You know what? We got Carlo Jimenez coming up next. You're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers in Phoenix taking on the Suns. Tip-off just about 57 minutes away. I'm Adam Osland. You're listening to the official pregame show of your Los Angeles Clippers. This is Clippers Countdown. Let's get to them from Footprint Center. It's your radio voice of the Clippers in Carlo Jimenez. Carlo, my guy, how we doing?
Adam, what's up? I moved an hour east. I am good.
What's
here
the
in
future
Mountain Time.
like over there? What's it like?
Well, let me tell you, it's very sunny in here. I don't know. We're inside, but I'm a little confused at what's going on. No, I'm good. Adam. It's great to see your beautiful face here on the YouTube side at Clippers Talk. If you're not here, and I'm bummed we don't get your cats in Clippers Talk. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I just love to see it.
I don't know. My cats knocked over a Kawhi bobblehead and they broke his right arm off, which had the basketball in it. So I'm a little bit dismayed at the moment, but I can super glue it back together. I can figure that out.
That's good.
Cat fights happen and Kawhi got caught in the crossfire, but claws versus claws there. Okay, let's talk about this Clippers game on Saturday night before we get to tonight's game against Phoenix. Clippers, I think, with their biggest win of the season, 127-117 over the Milwaukee Bucks. They did have the claw Kawhi Leonard. He had 18 in his 24 minutes, but I think the story was James Harden, a 40 spot against a team like that, against a defense like that. I think that was his best regular season game as a member of the Clippers so far.
I have to agree with you, Adam. It felt like the way that he took over the game down the stretch, being able to understand, Kawhi comes out in the third quarter, they need offense, and they continue to feed James Harden, and he continues to come through. I think he had 15 straight points in that fourth quarter. Just an excellent showing for the Beard. And when you talk about the opponent on the other side, I mean, the Clippers facing a good Bucks team that had been top 3 in the NBA in offense and defense since January 6th. Just an impressive performance from James Harden. And let's be honest, Adam, All-Star voting for coaches ends in about a couple days here. They will come out with the voting on the 30th, which I believe is a Thursday. And so this is your last chance to audition for an All-Star. If you're an NBA player, this is your last opportunity to put a headliner-type performance up on the top of some of these web pages or apps that these coaches have on their phone. So how can somebody like James Harden continue to vault themselves forward into that conversation? It feels like by becoming one of 6 players this season to have 3 or more 40-point games, he did just that.
I hope he just punched his ticket. Somebody else who should definitely be under consideration for being an all-star this season would be, of course, Norman Powell. Norman Powell with 14 of his 33 points in that fourth quarter. Big buckets, getting downhill. Just felt like, and you said it, Carlo, post-game, the fact that he was creating for himself, having to go ISO, having to do it off the bounce, that's what made it most impressive.
It was so impressive at his ability to get to the rim and finish, change angles, get to that floater with his right hand while he's dribbling down the left alley or turning the corner in the rim with a right-handed layup. I mean, Norman Powell just twists and turns his way to the rim every single time. It's so fun to watch him be able to expand his game in a season, Adam, where he's already expanded his game so much offensively. He's averaging 10 more points a game than a season ago, yet he continues to show that excellence on the offensive end. They'll need a big night from him, no doubt, in a building where he had his biggest night in his NBA career. I got Norman Powell as my player to watch. That's right. That's right. It's 6:38, and I'm calling it early here at the Footprint Center. Norman Powell is my player to watch.
Well, we'll see if I match that or go somewhere else.
I like it.
Yeah, Carlo Jimenez taking first pick here. Okay,
Finally.
Let's talk about my former player to watch. Last time out, it was Kawhi Leonard. I think he had the move of the ball game going behind his back between Dame Dalla and Giannis Antetokounmpo for the left-handed reverse layup. Just a thing of beauty. Vintage Kawhi Leonard there, and he's just looked better and better, and that was just Game 7.
Now, he continues to move so well for this Clipper team. Feels like nothing he has done, Adam, has looked awkward at all this season. The part that's most impressive about that move is him going back to the left on the reverse layup and then spilling onto the hardwood and being able to just get up and run back on the other end. I think collectively at Clipper Nation, we all hold our breath when Kawhi Leonard takes a spill to the court. But he's looked like he's been able to get up easy, get back, run up and down the floor. I mean, no real limits on Kawhi Leonard right now other than the minute limit that is supposedly getting bumped up a little bit today, Adam Osland. A little more Kawhi Leonard minutes today. Ty Lue said, quote, a little bump is his new minutes cap. So
okay,
is that 24 and 2 seconds? Is that 27 minutes. Are we, how much more are we going to get? I don't know, but I'm excited to see it.
All I know is I'm about to tweet this out, so this information better be accurate here,
No,
Carlo.
it,
all right?
I swear I only let Adam wrong once in my life. Adam, I do have to give you some credit. I do have to give you some credit.
Whoa, big day.
Big day. Adam, you were, I was watching the preview on Clippers Stock on YouTube at Clippers Stock.
Okay.
And you said, Norman Powell, fourth quarter, he's been excellent this year. Got to check out the numbers. Well, Adam, I checked out the numbers. And let me tell you, he's the second highest scorer in the fourth quarter, points per game this season behind LaMelo Ball. He's averaging nearly 8 points a fourth quarter. He's shooting 54% from the field, 53% from three. Norman Powell in season 2 continues to be Mr. Fourth Quarter.
I mean, yeah, he was doing this last season as well. Now he's doing it without Paul George. Those numbers look like all-star numbers to me. He comes through in the clutch each and every time.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Carlo Jimenez is on the call. Clippers and Phoenix taking on the Suns. Tip-off is just about 50 minutes away. And coming up next, Carlo's got his one-on-one with assistant coach B. Shaw right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers in Phoenix taking on the Suns. Tip-off is just about 46 minutes away. I'm Adam Oslin. This is Clippers Countdown. Still to come, we'll go back in time in Clippers Rewind. But first, let's head back over to your radio voice of the Clippers in Carlo Jimenez.
Thanks so much, Adam. Here with assistant coach Brian Schaub for the Clippers take on the Phoenix Suns. Coach, in games Kawhi has played, the team has averaged just 13 turnovers a game. Why has that led to a lower number of turnovers when he's out there?
I think we take less chances, when he's out there on the floor. Sometimes when he's not out there, we look a little bit more for the home run play, but when we're able to give him the ball and he goes into his a package of things that he does, he's pretty secure with it. And, he draws two to the ball and makes the right play. And so you don't have to make that home run.
Two of your top four rebounders are point guards, and James and Kevin Porter Jr. What does it allow you to do offensively better that your point guards are rebounding so well?
Well, you would hope that it would lead to, more efficient and a faster pace of offense because you have two guys in your guards that both handle the ball, both pretty much play the point guard position for the team. That when they get the rebound, they can push. And so if other guys, it eliminates having to outlet the ball to somebody, which may take another second or second and a half. So you eliminate that. And if they have people running with them down the lanes, they can throw ahead and attack much quicker than having to wait for the outlet and then do it.
Last one for you, Coach, but this is your guys' second game, part of a 4-game stretch when you're going to play in every time zone on the continent of the United States. But I'm just curious, when you were a player and you're adjusting to time zones, like, was there any tricks or any things you tried to do to keep your body right?
No, I don't think that we gave it as much thought. I don't know if there was as much coverage on, the analytics behind changing time zones and how it affects your sleep pattern and things of that nature. Now that information is all out there, and to me, it just gives you more to think about. If you dwell on that, then it just confuses you, and like I say, gives you more to worry about. So at the end of the day, you still have to play the games, and all our lives, the majority of our lives before we started playing professionally. Guys have played, whether they played in the AAU tournaments or out on the park. I'm sure guys have played with, in under a 24-hour period, here or there. So, it just comes down to playing the game. If you love it, just go out there and do what you need to do.
All right. Good luck. Best of luck tonight, Coach. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Assistant Coach Brian Shaw there with Carlo Jimenez as we get set for the Clippers in Phoenix taking on the Suns. Tip-off is just about 44 minutes away. I'm Adam Osland, and coming up next here on Clippers Countdown, we're going back in time in Clippers Rewind right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers and Suns from Phoenix at Footprint Center. Tip-off just about 40 minutes away. I'm Adam Osland. This is Clippers Countdown. Still to come, we'll have Lauren Rosen on. But first, we're going back in time in Clippers Rewind. We're taking things back to May 1st of 2006. Top of the box office then was United 93, along with RV and Silent Hill. Top of the Billboard charts was Bad Day by Daniel Powder. And the Clippers were in Game 1 against the Suns in the second round of the Western Conference playoffs.
This is Elton Brand with that mid-range jump shot, which he has really sharpened this year. Brand.
He's going to work now. Elton Brand into a rhythm.
Corey Maggette is in, got the feed, and a beauty it was from Elton Brand. And Maggette is heard from very quickly off the bench. Look at the speed of the Clippers the other way. They've got another gear. And Elton Brand finishes the break well.
Elton Brand wants that ball on the block.
Over Marion. Dia, great move on Keenan. Rejected by Brand. And here comes Ross with Cassell, but Phoenix back on defense. Cassell is at 4 in a row.
That's caused the big number 42 in there right there wearing this red jersey. Got no answers for him.
Diao on Brand. He is unbelievable. 15 of 18, Elton Brand. Bell back to Diao. Rejected by Brand. Another block for Elton. A breakaway with Livingston. The other way for the Clippers.
See that speed? And that's not a good prescription, even when you've got Elton Brand in the post looking for his 40th point here, which he gets.
How about that?
And the incredible three-point shooting. That's the recipe for a big win here to go up 1-0.
Maggette for 3. And Corey Maggette has 20 points. Brand had 40, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, Elton Brand with 40 and 4 blocks. Sam Cassell had 28. Maggette had 20. And the Clippers shot 60% from the field. But the Suns were showing off the power of the three-point shot. They would hit 12 to the Clippers 4, which is extremely mild by today's standard. They would win 130 to 123 in Game 1 against the Clippers back in 2006 in that best-of-7 series where the Clippers would eventually fall in 7. Steve Nash also had 31 in that game, but I want to celebrate Elton Brand. 44 blocks. Of course, James Harden coming off 40 points Saturday night against the Milwaukee Bucks. Tonight, Clippers and Phoenix taking on the Suns. Tip-off just about 38 minutes away. Up next, your player to watch. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers and Suns from Phoenix. Tip-off just about 36 minutes away. I'm Adam Osland. You're listening to the official pregame show of your Los Angeles Clippers. This is Clippers Countdown. Still to come, your injury report, and then Lauren Rosen. But first, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. We'll also have an NBA out-of-town scoreboard on the way. But first,
this is LA Clippers basketball.
Watching this guy play right now is really something.
Players to watch.
watching Big Zoo tonight, coming off 12 and 10, another double-double on the season, and their big victory by 10 over the Milwaukee Bucks Saturday night at Intuit Dome. Want to see him dominate. Nick Richards in this ball game. It's just his 5th game as a member of the Phoenix Suns. He's been cleaning the glass really well. Last couple of games, 15 boards, 19 boards. But Big Zoo in 2 games, granted they are losses against the Phoenix Suns so far for the Clippers, but Big Zoo, he's been averaging 22 and 11 in those 2 games, shooting 74% from the field. Want to see him detonate on the rim, play with force tonight in Phoenix. Coming up next here on Clippers Countdown, your injury report, as we are just about 34 minutes away from tip-off at Footprint Center. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Don't forget about Zoo. Clippers and Phoenix taking on the Suns. Tip-off is just about 32 minutes away. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Osland. Still to come, Lauren Rosen will be here in the very next segment. But first, let's get to your injury report, brought to you by Prize Picks. Download the app today and use code KLAC to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. For the Phoenix Suns, they are without Ryan Dunn. He has an ankle injury, a very good defensive rookie in this league coming out of Virginia. And last time out against the Clippers, he had 16 points and knocked down 4 3-pointers. Suns without him in this ball game. Clippers still without Chris Dunn, dealing with that knee injury. Coach Lou said pregame he may return at some point on this 4-game road trip. Clippers starting things off in Phoenix tonight. Tip-off 31 minutes away. And up next, your courtside reporter and Lauren Rosen from Footprint Center in Phoenix. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers and Suns from Phoenix. Tip-off just 29 minutes away. Welcome back in. I'm Adam Oslin. Still to come, we'll get to an NBA out-of-town scoreboard, but joining the show right now from Footprint Center is your courtside reporter, Lauren Rosen. Follow her at Lauren M. Rosen on pretty much all social media platforms. She is the Rosen one. Lauren, thanks for joining me here pregame.
That is so lovely. It is so good to be here with you, Adam. I love doing these. I love reading live comments too. You are everywhere. I'm so impressed.
I'm trying to keep up with Carlo, the TikTok god that he is. All right, let's start this thing off. Yeah, who is that guy? Let's talk about your interview post-game with James Harden after the Clippers' 10-point victory over the Milwaukee Bucks on Saturday night. He said something interesting. This was one of the more tight-knit teams he has been on in his career. The camaraderie is just different. You covered him in Philly. I'm wondering, have you seen a difference in just his energy, his aura, his joy in playing the game with this Clipper squad?
I think his leadership was always there. I was so impressed by him in Philly. I was impressed by the way that he took a bunch of young players under his wing. He's such a great mentor to young players. I will say it's been a couple years, and being with him now here with the Clippers, he's taken it up a notch, I think. And I would, from what I've seen and from the way his teammates talk about him, the chatter at the beginning of the season about where this team would be without Kawhi Leonard, I believe that James heard that and he took it as a challenge. He accepted the challenge and then he thrived under that type of pressure. And his young teammates on this team, again, just as was the case in Philly, they look up to him. They listen to him when he speaks. They really take whatever information he has to share with them seriously. And this season, obviously, he put in a really concerted effort early in the year to make sure that he would be certainly one of the reasons why this team outperformed the expectations that obviously they didn't have for themselves. They knew they could be good regardless of who was available. But there was some chatter, and I believe that he heard it.
Of course, the addition by subtraction saying has been going on since Media Day. That was brought to you by Norman Powell, but he and James Harden out there with something to prove, I think, especially without Kawhi about the last 16 minutes of that ball game in their 127-117 victory over Milwaukee. And Norman Powell came through late as well. James Harden with 11 points in the fourth quarter. Norman Powell with 14 of his 33. I really hope the national media is taking a look at just how good Norman Powell has been so far this season, Lauren, because once again, he came through in a fourth quarter for them.
They've got to. And I know you and I are on the same page, and I know you've covered it as well. But that fourth quarter that you're talking about against Milwaukee, we talked about James Harden, as is the case for Norman Powell. To me, that's all the evidence that a national audience needs when it decides who its all-stars are going to be this season. That was an absolute virtuoso performance from a backcourt that looks like they've been playing together for a million years, even though they haven't been. Their communication, their ability to find one another. I'm thinking a couple games back, Norm had a slower shooting start, and James kept feeding him until the buckets fell. It's been really cool to watch the way that Norm has risen and the role that James has played in that rise. I know it wasn't your question, but my answer is that they're both all-stars.
I agree with you. I feel like they are the highest scoring backcourt in the league, averaging together 45 points per game. It's incredible. It kind of sneaks up on you just how good they have been this season. But everybody has to recognize there's a reason why the Clippers are a top 6 seed, and they've only had Kawhi Leonard for 7 games so far. Speaking of the Claw, feel like he's looking better and better. That behind-the-back reverse layup with the left hand against Milwaukee Saturday night was a thing of beauty. And it sounds like in this game, his minutes are going to be expanded or extended a little bit here tonight in Phoenix, Lauren?
Ty Lue called it a little bump. So we don't know exactly how many minutes that necessarily means. But, of course, seeing him go from 20 to 24, 25 minutes, he's been so efficient in the minutes he's been given. He's looked, as you said, really, really like his old self, if not even more controlled in some ways. It's such a thrill for me. As everybody knows, I'm new, right? And this is my first season covering Kawhi on a night-to-night basis. He is just so stunning with his handle of the ball. There is nobody that plays, or I guess that's able to execute such difficult things so easily looking. He does it so effortlessly. And to be coming off an injury, he has said he's still ramping up. He's being strategic. He is holding back a little bit. To look as good as he did against Milwaukee when this isn't even full throttle Kawhi, there's a lot to be excited about.
Yeah, I'm ready for tonight's ball game. Ivica Zubac, though, is my player to watch as we round out the big four on this team right now, talking about these guys. He also, I know the front court, it's tough to get voted in, especially as an all-star in the Western Conference, but Ivica Zubac has played at times like a top 5 center in this league this season. It's another guy that has taken his game to another level, and he's been very good against Phoenix so far this year in 2 games. But what have you seen from Ivica Zubac? Because this is a guy that's being relied upon more on the offensive end this season.
I mean, I think especially if we're talking about traditional centers, he's absolutely a top 5 center in the NBA. And of course, what the center position means when we think about the Joker and we think about Wemby has changed. But what Big Zoo is doing is truly dominant play, like you said, on both sides of the ball. So what I've been most impressed by is how frequently towards the end of the game, most of which, by the way, have been wins, and he has been chronically available for them, with the exception, of course, of the eye issue that I know frustrated him because of how much he prides himself in availability. How frequently, though, I look up in the third quarter or fourth quarter, I'm looking at the box score, and he's already at not just 20 and 10. At the beginning of the season, it was 20 and 10 on a nightly basis, 20 and 17, 20 and 18, 16 and 21. I look up and I said, how is he doing that so regularly with so little credit, Adam? So, of course, you and I are going to continue to give him credit, but as has been the case with Norm, I want to see more national attention for Big Zoo because what he's doing is really, really special. And in other years or other eras, probably would be getting a lot more hype.
Another guy who's even, I think he's flown under the radar a little bit internally with this Clippers team, because coming into this season, I didn't know where Amir Coffey was going to fit in. They bring in Chris Dunn, they bring back Nico Batum, they bring in Derek Jones Jr. I just wondered how many minutes he'd be getting. Now it's looking like he's the first guy off the bench. He's shooting over 40% from the outside. He picks his spots, when to get hot out there, when to ride that hot hand in quarters. And also he's a fabulous defender out there. But specifically, Amir Coffey in transition has been devastating at times for this Clippers team. I'm thinking about that dunk he had on LeBron James in their game against the Lakers this season. Like, he gets downhill and can be scary in transition. And I just like the confidence he's had so far this year.
He's the ultimate stay ready guy, Adam. And I know there are certain cliches that we hear all the time in this league. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. They all say it. Amir Coffey really means it. And what I am speaking specifically about is the fact that early in the season, he was filling in for guys. When Norm Powell got hurt, he was in the starting lineup. When other players have had to take a step back, he's been there to take a step forward. And he was stepping in for different guys every time, right? So the team needed different things based on who was unavailable. He kind of came in and proved, okay, I can do whatever you need me to do. And now as the team gets healthier, they realize, well, we're going to need you to do it all, and we're going to have you do it more often. So I just got to give him credit for the fact that he didn't know what his role was going to look like on this team at the beginning of the season. And as you said, he's carved something out for himself that when he comes onto the floor, everybody knows you're getting a competent, locked in, dialed in guy on both sides of the floor. And his expression as soon as he dunked that dunk over LeBron, and to be fair, LeBron made a business decision in that moment.
Yes, he did.
But he deserved every inch, every minute, every second of that yell. Like, I love seeing him animate at that level.
The primal scream he let out, as Brian Seaman would say. Last one for you here, Lauren. I have Ivica Zubac as my player to watch tonight. Carlo's going with Norman Powell for his player to watch in Phoenix tonight. Who's your Clipper to watch tonight in this one? Who's going to be key?
I'm going to go Kawhi Leonard, which feels maybe like an obvious answer, but I'm curious about this little bump. The team, of course, 6-1 in games that he's played so far. He's been fantastic. He hasn't forced himself into a starring role. He's done a little bit of everything, but it also feels like he's unlocked something different every night. So aside from the little minutes bump, what else could Kawhi Leonard unlock here in Phoenix? It's the first time he'll see this Phoenix team this season, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he matches up.
Yeah, they're 0-2 without him. They need Kawhi Leonard in that minutes bump tonight. We needed Lauren Rosen here on the pregame show tonight on Clippers Countdown. Follow her at Lauren M. Rosen on the gram, on TikTok, on Twitter. Lauren, wonderful work as always. Thanks for doing this here.
Thank you, Adam. We'll do it again soon.
Coming up next here on Clippers Countdown, we'll get to an NBA out-of-town scoreboard. Clippers in Phoenix taking on the Suns. Tip-off is just about 19 minutes away right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers in Phoenix taking on the Suns for the third time this season, trying to get their first victory against them. First game with Kawhi Leonard against the hated Phoenix Suns. I know how you feel about them, Clipper Nation, for good reason. They are the only team in the league that's beaten them not once, not twice, but 3 times in the playoffs. And it felt like the last 2 times, the Clippers were at the talent disadvantage because they had guys out. But so far this season, they were without Kawhi in their 2 losses against Phoenix. They have him tonight. He's getting that minutes bump against them. We'll see what that is. My prediction, somewhere between 28 minutes and 30 minutes for Kawhi Leonard tonight. But right now, let's get to your drive around the league. As always, it's brought to you by Toyota and Toyota's electrified lineup, including hybrids, plug-in hybrids, all electrics, and even fuel cell electric vehicles. So you can choose exactly the type you need for your lifestyle. We make it easy. Currently, right now in Cleveland, is the Cavaliers up 108-86 over the Detroit Pistons. Make it 108-88 now with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Cavs looking to improve to an NBA best 37-9. I think it's still an NBA best. Darius Garland had 22 and 7 assists. Cavs have been during hit a little bit of a rough patch. I believe they have lost 3 in a row heading into this ball game. A rough patch for them. The Boston Celtics are 32-14, and they are tied up late in the third quarter with the Houston Rockets at 79. Jaylen Brown with 24 points already. Amen Thompson taking advantage of this big opportunity. No Jabari Smith Jr., he's still out. 22 and 8 boards for him. He has been on a heater. Speaking of, in Miami, the Heat down by 2 to the Orlando Magic. It's 79-77 with 3:05 left in the third quarter. Magic. Tyler Hero, though, has 22, 7, and 6 assists. He's having a huge season for Miami. And early in the third quarter, 10:42 mark in Chicago, Nuggets on top of the Bulls, 72-64. Nikola Jokic with 23 and 8 assists. Vucevic with 14 and 7 for Chicago. One more for you at the half in Minnesota. Timberwolves up 17 on the Atlanta Hawks. It's 60-43. Julius Randle has 14 points. 24 minutes into that one. Clippers just about 13 minutes away from tip-off in Phoenix. Clippers taking on the Suns. And up next, back to your radio voice of the Clippers and Carlo Jimenez. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers in Phoenix tipping off against the Suns 12 minutes from now. I'm Adam Osland. This is Clippers Countdown. Coming up, we'll get to your keys to victory. But first, let's get back to your radio voice of the Clippers in Carlo Jimenez. So, Carlo, the Suns come into this game having won 7 of their last 9. What is the state of the Suns heading into this contest where they're already 2-0 against the Clippers?
Yeah, it's interesting, Adam, because this is a Suns team. When you look at them across the board, there's not many weaknesses. I mean, they're not a great rebounding club, but outside of that, they don't do much wrong. And we're talking to a couple of guys who follow the team, who've been around them closely pregame, and they said the tough part for us has just been putting the same product together consistently. I mean, Adam, this is a Suns team that's 22-12 with Kevin Durant. They are a very good ball team with KD, but they've just been unable to control the turnovers and to control the rebounding battle. That's what I was told would be the 2 major factors. Now, they are playing a much better brand of basketball right now, but for this Clipper team, you come into a Suns group that's a jump shooting club. They do not have Ryan Dunn, who's their best defender. He's top 5 in the NBA in defensive field goal percentage, but they make the most and attempt the most jump shots per game in the NBA, Adam. They do not get to the paint. They're not going to try to push the fast break. They're going to set you up in their offense, and then they're going to try to knock down jumpers.
Yeah, they got some mid-range assassins, obviously. Devin Booker, though, having a down season shooting percentage-wise. What have you seen from him? He's still just 28. I don't think he's slowing down.
No, and he really hasn't been slowing down. I think it's just an adjustment now to playing with somebody like Durant and Beal more. I mean, Beal does come off the bench at him, but he still plays as starter in terms of starter minutes, 32 minutes a night. And look, he torched the Clippers last time they played. He had 40 points against the Clips in LA, but a much different Clippers team. I think more has changed with this Clipper group than has changed with this Phoenix group. Phoenix struggles against good teams. They win games against bad teams. And that's why, Adam, when you look at their overall record, they're 2 games above 500, right? They win the games they're supposed to. When the games they're not supposed to, they struggle. Now, somebody named Zach Akalni would tell me there's a Clipper group that's done a much better job at finding their way defensively this season, being able to clamp down, really tighten the screws on that end. And that's why I think this is such a different matchup than those 2 games in October.
Yeah, and they didn't have Kawhi Leonard in either of those games. And one, they led by 9 late in the fourth quarter with about 4 minutes left in game 1. They had a chance to close things out. They were up by, 21 points in game 2. Then the Suns came out and hit 15 straight shots to start that third quarter at Intuit Dome. So the Suns did make an addition. They got things started when it came to trades, and it was bringing in Nick Richards. He's only played 4 games so far, but he's been pretty effective out there, Carlo.
He has been pretty effective. 19 rebounds, a career high in his last game. Richards, he's a good center, no doubt. I mean, he's somebody who's going to fill the holes rebounding the basketball for this Phoenix Suns team. Wasn't somebody that was starting in Charlotte, though. So you want to think about that in terms of the context. Is this the guy who's going to completely fill the problem of rebounding for Phoenix? Probably not. But he's going to do a good job of trying to clog it as much as he can. So far this season, in his 4 games with the Suns, he's been averaging around 13 points and 11 rebounds. But he's still trying to get adjusted to this group. We have not seen the extent of Nick Richards' ability with the Phoenix Suns to his complete powers because he's still figuring out how to play with somebody like Durant and Booker, Beal on the outside. It's an interesting group because they have a lot of good three-point shooters at them, yet they're the 6th best three-point shooting team in the NBA. And I don't mean that as like 6 is bad, but you'd think it'd be a lot better with somebody like Grayson Allen, who shot 36% from 3, 46% from 3 last season. This year he is under 40%, I believe, on the year. No, he's 4% under 46%, so a little lower than he was a season ago. A lot of people here in Phoenix think this team should be a lot better. I think a lot of people around the NBA, when you look at the roster, feel like their record should be a lot better. And I think that's why the Clippers cannot underestimate Phoenix tonight. They are trying to prove something. They play the Clippers, then they play Minnesota. Those are 2 litmus test games for them here in their home arena. How can the Clippers make sure to start this road trip off with a victory? It is going to be a tough and fun contest tonight.
What's the scuttlebutt there in Phoenix regarding Bradley Beal? Could he still be moved? Could they bring in Jimmy Butler? What's going on with this Suns roster?
I think everything's on the table. The hard part with Brad, Adam, he's got a no-trade clause. So he has to approve where he is going to. It was interesting even today. I mean, Mike Budenholzer asked, are you going to start Bradley Beal? Because he started the second half last game when Ryan Dunn went down with the ankle injury. So naturally, you would think he's starting today. He's not starting today. He is back on the bench. They're starting Royce O'Neal instead of Bradley Beal in that starting 5. I think that's pretty telling of how they feel, not only about where they are as an offense, but where Bradley Beal is in the mix of these things. Because you would think if a guy's out, Bradley Beal is the next one off the bench. He's going to be moved in that starting lineup. But what keeping him out of the starting lineup tells me is that Mike Budenholzer wants consistency with that starting group. So he's going to try to keep that 5 in the same flow by putting O'Neal in the starting lineup, which would, again, this is all, I don't know any of this, but I'm just inferring that he very much values the consistency and the rhythm of the starting 5 over the bench unit.
Yeah, and Royce O'Neal likely matched up against Kawhi Leonard early on in this ball game. They've gone at each other in the past here. I wonder if maybe they're giving him a reason to waive that no-trade contract, that no-trade clause in the contract, because he's coming off the bench. It's like, hey, you want to start somewhere else? You may have that option. Yeah, he and LeBron James, the only 2 guys with no trade clauses. So,
Adam, they just traded 1 first-round pick for 3 first-round picks.
Yeah,
in that deal with Utah. So it really feels like they're loading up to make a deal.
And going back to the Clippers, I think there was one other guy that was really key in that fourth quarter, outside of talking about their head coach and Tyronn Lue, who went small successfully. One of the guys out there that played some really good backline defense, Kevin Porter Jr. The rebounding, the steals, like that fourth quarter doesn't happen without him.
100% agree. I was listening to the live, the Jam, the pod earlier today. Shout out 213 Hoops, and they were bringing up KPJ's ability to make quick decisions in that game. And I agree with that statement. I felt like, Adam, he kept the ball moving and he played great defense. He comes up with 8 rebounds in that game. He played exactly how they need him to play with Kawhi Leonard. And it's one thing that Chris Dunn does so well with the Clippers is he keeps the ball moving on offense and then is a great defender and rebounder on the defensive end. Now, can KPJ be somebody who can have those same attributes? He has all the athletic ability, all the build to be able to be that type of player, right? To average somewhere between 5 and 7 rebounds a game, to come up with a steal or 2 a night, and be able to move the ball offensively to set up his teammates, get downhill and attack the rim. I think that's why the Clippers are so high on somebody like Kevin Porter Jr., because there are moments almost every single night he plays where you say, wow, if he can do that every single night, I mean, that changes things for the Clippers, especially with that second unit. And it's gotten easier for him since Kawhi Leonard has come back from the injury. So I agree with you. Kevin Porter Jr.'s defense continues to shine as much as his offense has. It's everything else but the offense that I think becomes so impressive and so important for what he can provide. With Kawhi Leonard back, and you've talked about it on X at Follow Adam A, they're a top 10 offense with Kawhi Leonard back. So KPJ doesn't have to shoulder the load. He doesn't have to shoot 13 shots a game off the bench. He just has to make the right play now for this Clipper team, and he did that at an extremely high level against Milwaukee.
Yeah, it was kind of just blending out there, playing his role instead of putting everything on his shoulders to take tough mid-range shots. We'll see what happens tonight in Phoenix. Carlo Jimenez is on the call. Tip-off is just about 5 minutes away. Clippers and Suns up next. We'll get your keys to victory right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Clippers in Phoenix taking on the Suns. Tip-off moments away. Let's get to your keys to victory. The Suns are a good three-point shooting team, but KD and Booker have actually been cold over their last 10 games. Both guys shooting about 33% from beyond the arc. Try to keep them there with physical defense. Also, they don't turn the ball over a lot, so you cannot either. This Clippers team been much better when Kawhi Leonard is playing. They're only turning it over about 13 times per game. That would match what the Phoenix Suns do nightly. All right, here we go. It's Carlo Jimenez on the call. Clippers with Kawhi in Phoenix from Footprint Center, taking on the Suns. And tip-off is coming up next right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Toy boat, toy boat, toy boat.
It is almost that time here in Phoenix, Arizona at the Footprint Center, where your Clippers begin a 4-game road trip in 3 different time zones. And we start in Mountain Time here in Phoenix. The Clippers looking for a victory for the first time this season over the Suns in a building that they've had success in the past 2 years. The Clippers have won their last 4 contests here at Footprint Center. Carlo Jimenez hanging out with Brian DeBose, our engineer on the